Last year, I did a show that I called Voiced, and I sat down to reflect on the aftermath of what it meant to me and to answer some deeply founded questions on the intent, process, and realization of the show. Widj-Gaëlle, occupation, creative. I think one of the biggest things that's important is just making sure like you pray. I think a lot of things are born out of prayer. What happens in the physical is born from a spiritual place first. And so kind of knowing these factors, prayer was super important. And also I have an incredible support. My praise and worship leader, my leader, Noemi Lozima, made sure she took time out of her schedule and prayed with me. And she was also checking in here and there while I was planning to make sure I was okay, that I need anything, any kind of support, like anything. And she was open to hear me out, some of my concerns. Spiritually, that really helped to know that like I was covered. So prayer and being covered, like not walking into this by myself. There's only joy where you are, joy where you are. I will go back, I will go back. There's only peace where you are, peace where you are. I will go back, oh, I will go back. There's only joy where you are. I kind of took this long break from music. That kind of was the end of music for me. It wasn't like something I told people, like I'm done with music. I just kind of moved on from it. So anytime people asked me about it, I was like, later. What is that called when you just, I deflected. So after doing years of deflection, I'll just summarize the story by saying I got a really big correction, which led me to really go back to ask God, like, what do you want me to do with this? So because I had made a personal decision that didn't involve God, after that really strong correction, let me go ask God what's up with music, because a stranger came at me this hard about this topic. I'll call it one thing led to another. We just ended up doing a show. And the second aspect that's really important about this, my pastor preached a message called I Am the Voice months ago. It was like in the following weeks after that message had been preached, months afterwards. I'm not good with timelines. God told me, yeah, the show will be called Voiced. To me, it marked the end of me being quiet, the end of me killing my own voice, deciding that I have nothing to say. We started planning it during the summer, and I realized I would need help with it and stuff like that, so I started kind of putting my stuff together. But I knew that if I was going to do my first show, I wanted to make sure like the visual and things match with it. So I love graphics, so I kind of just organized myself. I had like an actual calendar. I had a conversation with my pastor, and he told me how many weeks I should promote the show. Like I followed the wisdom I got from my pastor, and at the same time I was aware that certain people didn't know me like that. I didn't want to create visuals or marketing or whatsoever that didn't present myself. That's why I chose to go with like Q&As and certain questions. People don't know, like I love to laugh. I wanted to kind of give a bit of an angle of who I am. Yeah, snippets of who I am as a person. And the creativity really came from God, because it was a lot of material to create.
But if your eyes are fixed, then you might just miss his love. But he deserves the honor, even when I'm hurt. God, you deserve my vow, even when I feel unsure. You deserve it, you're entitled to it, yeah.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so part one, what's part one? God, I didn't even know that in the scheduling of the songs, they were also timeline. I didn't know. Like the first song I did is Where It All Began. I'm lying. That's the last song. Come here. The first song was Come Here and I Will Go Back. The last song is This Is Where It Begins. This is where we begin. I will posture my heart. That's the last song. So I didn't know, like, because This Is Where It Begins, I finished it in Paris. That sounds so braggy. We went, no, pause. That sounded so wild. But we were in no, but what, Lord have mercy. Yo, but it is the truth. I finished it in Paris. So we're in the hotel and we're just waiting to go to our rooms, right? I started writing it here. I edited it over there. That was the most recent song that was on that project. Relationships and hearts. People who just They just get it. I love them so much. I really, really do. I have a genuine amount of love for these two people. Like, everything musical production was the MD. His name is Fenji. And shout out to my dear friend. Oh man, I love that girl so bad. Like, Ali was behind my vocal production. So all the arrangements vocally, and before the show we worked to make sure that everything was on point, and they just get it. They just get it.
Days, 'cause I never really thought I had to watch it play out, but folks that don't play, and it's not my first time, so you know I'm hard pressed. I've been getting delayed by nonsense. I talk press to folks, 'cause these days I can't deal with stress. I let somebody bleed before I get the mind stress. I shot 3 points for legacy, but nobody see. So I guess I'm on the scene. That's why I'm not on scene. Can't touch on my screen, 'cause I'm really unseen. I've been waiting in private.
To everyone who came out, everyone who supported, from the outside to the inside, family members, friends, even people who weren't able to make it, I'm beyond grateful. Voice has been and is what it is in people's lives. It's been beautiful, and being able to have to share that experience with more people than I thought was. I saw people who I never thought would come to my, like, it's, for someone who thought the story was over, to see the story unfold in that way, I've been very, very, very grateful. Thank you for giving me a chance to share my story, and I hope to see you again whenever I do this again. As yes, I will do it again. Still don't know the settings of it all, but I will definitely keep you guys updated. Thank you for supporting the journey.